Osiris, the god who would not die, the complete story of Egypt's most powerful deity. Before time, before kings, before the great pyramids rose from the sands of Kemet, there was only chaos. A vast, endless ocean known as none, the primordial abyss of nothingness. No land, no sky, no stars, only the infinite void. From this abyss, a single being came into existence. The great creator Adam, the first god, the spark of life, standing alone upon the first mound of earth that rose from the waters. From his breath, Adam created Shu, god of air, and Tefnut, goddess of moisture. They, in turn, brought forth the world. From them came Geb, the earth, and Nut, the sky. And from their forbidden love came 4 divine children who would shape the fate of the world: Osiris, Isis, Set, and Nephthys. Osiris, firstborn of Geb and Nut, was chosen to rule the land of Kemet. He was the first pharaoh of Egypt, the bringer of civilization, the god who taught humanity the secrets of life. Before Osiris, the world was wild and lawless. There were no cities, no temples, no laws, only chaos. But under his rule, Egypt flourished. The Nile is the gift of the gods. It brings life, and with it, we shall build a kingdom that will last for eternity. But Osiris did not rule alone. At his side stood Isis, his queen, his protector, his greatest love. Isis was more than a wife. She was a goddess of magic, wisdom, and healing. She possessed knowledge even the gods feared, able to speak spells that could bend reality itself. Together, Osiris and Isis ruled in harmony. Egypt was a paradise, the greatest civilization the world had ever seen. But in the shadows, jealousy grew. Set, the god of chaos, storms, and destruction, was Osiris's own brother. But while Osiris was beloved, Set ruled over the barren lands, the wastelands of the world. He was feared, seen as a bringer of destruction, a force of nature that could never be tamed. Why should Osiris have everything while I am cast into the wilderness? He has stolen my throne, but he will not keep it for long, Set said. Set devised a plan, so insidious, so devious, that it would be remembered for eternity. He hosted a grand feast in honor of Osiris, filling the palace with music, food, and wine. And at the height of the celebration, he presented a gift, an exquisite chest, crafted from the finest cedar wood, inlaid with gold and precious stones. Behold this magnificent chest! A gift for the one it fits perfectly. Whoever lies inside and matches its shape shall claim it as their own. One by one, guests attempted to fit inside but failed. Then Osiris, amused, stepped forward. "Very well, brother. Let us see if your gift was made for me." The moment Osiris lay inside, Set's expression darkened. His warriors rushed forward, slamming the lid shut, sealing it with nails and powerful magic. It was a trap. As Set's laughter echoed through the halls, the chest that held the body of Osiris was cast into the great river Nile. The current carried it far from the lands of Egypt, toward an uncertain fate. In a distant land, a mighty tree grew over the chest, unaware that it held the body of a god. It would become part of a great palace, a forgotten relic in a foreign kingdom, until Isis came searching. When Isis learned of her husband's fate, she did not weep. She did not despair. She set out on a journey that would take her beyond the borders of Egypt, beyond the realm of men, into the domain of the unknown. Through whispers and omens, she traced the path of the golden coffin, until at last she arrived in Byblos. The chest that held Osiris had become part of the palace itself. Isis, using her divine magic, revealed herself as a goddess, and the people of Byblos trembled before her power. The chest was cut free, and with trembling hands, Isis opened it to see her beloved Osiris, lifeless yet whole. She had found him. But Set had not yet finished his dark work. Isis carried the chest back to Egypt, hiding in the swamps of the Nile Delta, whispering ancient spells. Set, sensing her efforts, unleashed his fury upon the land. In a fit of rage, Set tore the body of Osiris into 14 pieces and scattered them across Egypt, ensuring he could never be whole again. With unyielding devotion, Isis sought every fragment of Osiris, gathering them one by one. Yet one piece, his sacred manhood, was lost to the depths of the Nile, devoured by a fish. Through magic older than time, she restored Osiris, not to the world of the living, but to something greater. And in that moment, she conceived a child, a son destined to avenge his father. Horus, the son of Osiris, was raised in secrecy. But when he came of age, he did not hide. He declared war upon his uncle Set for the throne of Egypt. For 80 years they fought, Horus, the rightful heir, and Set, the usurper. The gods themselves watched, unable to intervene. At last, Set was defeated. Horus was crowned pharaoh. But justice was not yet complete. The fate of Osiris had to be decided. In the halls of Ma'at, before the gods themselves, Osiris was brought forth for judgment. The heart of Osiris was weighed against the feather of truth. If his soul was pure, he would ascend. If not, he would be devoured by Ammit, the eater of souls. The scales tilted, and then balanced perfectly. Osiris had passed the test. He was pure. He was just. He was divine. Osiris, your time in the land of the living has ended. But your rule is not over. From this moment, you shall reign over the Duat, the underworld. You shall judge the souls of men for all eternity. Are said. Osiris ascended his throne in the underworld, surrounded by spirits, his eyes glowing with eternal wisdom. And so, Osiris, the god who would not die, became the ruler of the afterlife, the judge of souls, the lord of eternity. His story did not end with death. It transcended it. To this day, his name is whispered in prayers, his image carved into stone. He was more than a king, more than a god. He was the promise that death is not the end. He was Osiris, the god who would not die. Comment what the next story should be about. Until next time, stay curious.